Well, off to the U.S. now, where it's not clear who will have control of the House and Senate following the midterm elections. Vote counting showing that the vote currently is neck and neck. A set of close contests right now seem to be what will determine whether the Democrats keep their slim majorities in the House and Senate, or if Republicans will seize control of one or even both of the chambers. Voice of America's Esther Githui-Ewart is joining us live from Washington. Esther, good evening to you. So, a slow process of vote counting underway, but let's talk about then the general expectation. What is being noted out of the early trends and also early results coming out?
Thank you, Kathy, for having me. First of all, it's a tight race, as you said in your introduction. And right now, we still don't know who has won this race in terms of who is going to control the House, who is going to control the Senate. But right now, the Democrats are still holding those positions. Anything can change. We know that the southern state of Georgia is one to watch, where the race has been very tight. As I came on air to talk to you, the Democrats have 1% lead against their Republican candidate in southern Georgia. So it's really neck and neck right now, and it could change a lot of things. And what it needs for America, if things turn to the Republicans, it means the Republicans will have power to control the funding. They will redirect what President Joe Biden has been doing, whether it's sending help to Ukraine, whether it's doing other things for domestic people right here in America, whether it's sending some help overseas. That might change because if this race goes to the Republicans, they will have control of where the money goes and how it's used. They will change the policies that Biden has put in place. So the Democrats are hoping they will hold on to this, the House. They will hold on the control to the Senate. And we're still waiting for the final tally of this midterm election to see which way it's going to go. And it also points to probably another way of doing the campaigns and going out there early to rally your people, whether Republicans, Independents, or the Democrats, especially the Democrats and Republicans, because 2024 is going to come in soon for the presidential election race, Kathy.
Well, the voting might be done, but the campaigning certainly doesn't seem like it is.
No, it doesn't seem like it is, but I want to bring in a little bit of an African element into this election. For the first time, we've seen a lot of people of African descent, especially the people of Somalia. We've seen so many of them have won seats in the elective post in this midterm election. You probably all know about Ilhan Omar. She was able to retain her position in a third term now. We've seen there are actually 12 Somali Americans, meaning these people came from Somalia, or they are of Somali descent, but they have won the Senate races and U.S. representatives positions. So they are going to have a say in the state of Minnesota, where there's so many of them in this country. And it brings in the question of how did they do it? They rallied together. They supported one another. But there was a different element to this election where women were the most voted for of Somali descent than any other people of African descent in this race. So there's so much to look out to. There's so much for the Somali people back in Somalia to watch, especially the girls who are left behind. You know, there are a couple of issues that keep the women behind. And so it's going to be very interesting. But definitely we are going to see a shift happening. It is going to wake up people. They are going to rally more people. But I can tell you the youth have made a big difference in this election. They were the most people that went to the polling stations to vote yesterday. So they've made a big difference in how this election is shaping up in the United States and what to expect in the coming days. Social media has been a big player here. And so, Kathy, we're seeing a different America. An America that is becoming a conglomerate of all kinds of people, whether they are from the Middle East, but, you know, they are legally here in the U.S., they are already U.S. citizens, and they can vote, they can exercise their rights. And also we're learning something as a process here in the U.S. where Africans are watching and looking at the processes and the challenges that come in court and all other issues that bring in something that is called democracy.
All right, Esther, thanks for your time tonight. We'll leave it there. And